This person is about to get arrested for taking your. My beloved child, something has been moving silently behind the scenes, and tonight the silence is about to break. You felt the uneasiness without knowing why, sensed the shift without seeing it clearly. Someone you once trusted crossed a line they thought would never be noticed. They took what was connected to your name, your energy, your rightful space, believing time would erase the truth. But time has done the opposite. It has gathered evidence, witnesses, and consequences. Every step they took away from honesty has led them closer to a moment they can no longer escape. Stay with me, because this is not coincidence, this is exposure in motion. Amen. 111. Listen carefully now, because what unfolds next will change how you see the past. While you were rebuilding quietly, the truth was assembling itself piece by piece. Messages, records, and hidden actions are aligning at the exact moment you least expect it. The person responsible is already feeling the pressure. They sense the walls closing in, the questions multiplying, the ground beneath them weakening. This is not revenge, it is reckoning. What was taken is demanding to be returned, and the system they tried to outsmart is preparing to respond. Something huge is waiting for you, and it begins with accountability. Amen. 222. Pay attention to this final sign, because this is where your story turns. The arrest you hear about will not be random, it will be directly connected to your name, your truth, your silent endurance. Shock will spread, excuses will fail, and the mask will fall in front of everyone who doubted you. You were protected while the truth matured, and now justice is stepping forward without fear. Do not look away, this moment was written long before today. What was hidden is coming into the light, and you are about to witness it. Amen. 333. My beloved child, the moment you stayed patient while others rushed to judge you is the moment the truth began favoring your side. What you don't see yet is how many eyes are now watching the same person who once felt untouchable. Quiet conversations have turned serious, small doubts have turned into firm conclusions. They are retracing steps, rechecking actions, reopening doors that were thought to be permanently closed. This is not delay, this is precision. Everything is being aligned so nothing can be denied when the moment arrives. Amen. 444. Understand this clearly, your silence was not weakness, it was wisdom. While you chose dignity, the truth kept records. While you chose growth, the truth gathered proof. If this message resonates with you, let it be shared so others who are waiting in silence can feel strength again, and leave your amen in the comments as a mark of faith that justice never forgets a name. Stay connected to this message, because what unfolds next will restore more than what was taken, it will restore your confidence. Amen. 555. Now feel the shift, because the pressure is no longer on you. The one who acted carelessly is restless, replaying moments, fearing a call, a knock, a question they cannot answer. When this unfolds publicly, it will shock those who believed the lies and validate the truth you carried alone. Something huge is waiting for you. Clarity, justice, and release are closer than they appear. Do not lose focus now, this chapter is closing exactly as it should. Amen. 666. My beloved child, there is a reason your intuition has been restless lately. You are sensing the collapse before the noise begins. The truth is no longer hiding, it is standing upright, ready to speak without permission. Behind closed doors, timelines are being matched, statements are being compared, and one mistake has exposed many others. The person involved thought distance would protect them, but distance only made the trail clearer. This is the phase where fear replaces confidence on their side. Amen. 777. Mark this moment, because destiny does not rush, it strikes with accuracy. The more they try to control the outcome, the faster it slips away. Their words are losing consistency, their explanations are falling apart, and trust around them is thinning. You did not have to fight loudly for this. Truth has a way of standing up on its own. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives when you least expect confrontation but most deserve resolution. Amen. 888. Stay grounded now, because what comes next will test emotions before it delivers peace. When the revelation unfolds, there will be shock, disbelief, and sudden silence. Some will finally understand why you stepped back, why you endured quietly, why you refused to explain yourself. This is not just about consequences for them, it is closure for you. Hold steady, because the next turn brings undeniable confirmation. Amen. 999. A sudden stillness is settling in, and it is not peace, it is anticipation. The chain of events you couldn't see is now fully locked in place. Every delay had a purpose, every silence carried weight. The person who acted without fear is now surrounded by questions they cannot escape, and the confidence they once showed has turned into caution. This is the moment before truth steps forward publicly, when reality tightens its grip and there is no way to rewrite what already happened. Amen. 1010. Take this message seriously, because it is reaching you at the exact right time. If this resonates, let it travel, share it so others standing at the edge of justice feel courage rise again. Stay engaged with this message, add your amen in the comments as a declaration that truth always circles back stronger. What is unfolding is not accidental, it is designed to remind you that endurance is rewarded, and patience never goes unnoticed. Amen. 1111. Now prepare yourself, because once this surfaces, nothing remains the same. The arrest will not just expose actions, it will expose intentions, alliances, and hidden motives. Those who stayed silent will speak, those who doubted will reflect, and you will finally breathe without carrying unanswered questions. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives with clarity, validation, and release. Stand firm. This chapter is closing in your favor. Amen. 1212. My beloved child, the energy around this situation is shifting faster now, and you can feel it in your chest even if you can't explain it. What was once hidden behind confidence and clever words is now cracking under its own weight. The truth is no longer being searched for, it has been found. Files are complete, timelines are clear, and the person involved knows that escape is no longer an option. This is the stage where denial ends and reality takes control. Amen. 1313. Understand what this means for you, because this moment is bigger than justice alone. This is restoration. The universe kept you steady while everything aligned, and now the balance is correcting itself. When the news reaches you, it will hit differently, not with anger, but with relief. You will realize that nothing you endured was wasted, and nothing you protected quietly went unseen. Something huge is waiting for you, and it carries validation that no one can take away. Amen. 1414. Hold your ground just a little longer, because the final confirmation is closer than ever. Once this unfolds, the narrative will change permanently. People will look back and understand why you stayed calm, why you didn't chase explanations, why you trusted time. This chapter is sealing itself with truth, and you are walking out lighter, stronger, and finally free from unanswered questions. Stay present, this ending was written in your favor. Amen. 1515. The atmosphere is changing rapidly now, and this is the phase where outcomes can no longer be delayed. What was once uncertain is becoming official, structured, and unavoidable. Decisions are being finalized without emotion, only facts. The person connected to this situation is realizing that influence, excuses, and shortcuts have lost all power. What remains is consequence, clear, direct, and irreversible. This is the calm before the announcement that shifts everything. Amen. 1616. My beloved child, this is where your patience proves its strength. You were protected from reacting too soon, from speaking when silence served you better. Now the truth is moving forward without needing your defense. The pressure you carried has transferred completely, and you are standing on the side of clarity. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not chaos, it is confirmation that the universe never forgets who acted with integrity. Amen. 1717. Stay steady through this final stretch, because once the outcome becomes visible, emotions around you may rise. Some will question, some will regret, some will pretend they always knew the truth. But you will not need validation anymore, you will feel release. This chapter is no longer forming, it is concluding. What comes next is peace earned through endurance, and no one can take that from you. Amen. 1818. A quiet realization is spreading now, and it is heavier than noise. The reality of what's about to happen has settled into the air, and there is no turning back. The person who once believed they could outpace consequences is now surrounded by finality. Every overlooked detail has returned with force, every ignored warning has transformed into certainty. This is the stage where truth no longer waits for permission, it moves forward on its own terms. Amen. 1919. My beloved child, this is where your inner strength becomes visible even without words. You are no longer carrying the weight of wondering, questioning, or doubting yourself. The burden has shifted completely. What unfolds next will confirm that you were never wrong for trusting your instincts. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives not as chaos, but as relief so deep it feels unfamiliar at first. Let it come, you earned this moment through restraint. Amen. 2020. Remain centered now, because the closing of this chapter will echo longer than you expect. When the outcome becomes known, it will silence many assumptions and awaken long-delayed understanding. You will stand still while others scramble to process what you already made peace with. This is not the end of your story, it is the release before a stronger beginning. Walk forward without looking back. Amen. 2121. A shift you cannot see is completing itself now, and it is precise. The final confirmations are aligning, not rushed, not delayed, exact. The person at the center of this is no longer resisting, they are bracing. When resistance ends, reality speaks loudest. What was once hidden behind timing and circumstance is stepping into full visibility, and there will be no room left for reinterpretation. This is closure forming in real time. Amen. 2222. My beloved child, notice how calm you are becoming. That is not emptiness, it is release. You are no longer asking why or when. Your spirit already knows the answer is near. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is the return of balance. What was taken created a debt, and that debt is being settled without your intervention. This moment validates every time you chose not to react, not to chase, not to explain. Amen. 2323. Stay present in this final awareness, because once the truth lands, it will land completely. There will be no confusion left to carry forward. The past will close without pulling you back, and the future will open without resistance. You are stepping into a chapter where clarity replaces tension, and peace replaces vigilance. This is not luck, it is alignment fulfilled. Amen. 2424. The moment is almost tangible now, like a breath held right before release. What has been building quietly is stepping into visibility, and the shift will be unmistakable. The final word is preparing to be spoken, and once it is, there will be no room left for doubt or reversal. The person involved can feel it too, an end they can no longer delay, a consequence that has chosen its time. Amen. 2525. My beloved child, this is the stage where understanding settles deep within you. Not anger, not triumph, understanding. You see clearly why everything unfolded the way it did, why certain doors closed, why silence was your protection. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives as certainty. You will no longer question your path or your patience, you will trust it completely. Amen. 2626. Hold this awareness gently, because once the truth becomes public, it will move fast. Reactions will swirl, opinions will shift, and explanations will surface too late to matter. But you will remain untouched by the noise, rooted in clarity. This chapter is ending without loose ends, and the space it leaves behind is ready to be filled with peace. Amen. 2727. A decisive energy has entered the scene now, and it does not negotiate. What has been circling quietly is locking into place with authority. This is the phase where outcomes become irreversible, where the line between past actions and present consequences disappears. The situation has matured beyond speculation, it is grounded in certainty. What unfolds next will feel sudden to many, but you know it has been forming for a long time. Amen. 2828. My beloved child, notice how your spirit is no longer anxious. That calm is not accidental, it is preparation. You are being ready to receive confirmation without shock, clarity without confusion. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives without requiring effort from you anymore. The burden of waiting, wondering, and holding back has completed its purpose. What remains is truth standing on its own strength. Amen. 2929. Stay composed through this final exposure, because once it becomes known, the narrative will shift permanently. The truth will not need defense, and you will not need to explain yourself. Silence will speak louder than words ever could. This chapter is sealing itself with precision, and you are stepping forward unburdened. Let it conclude, your release is already in motion. Amen. 3030. A final alignment is happening now, subtle but powerful, like the last piece sliding into place. There is no chaos in this moment, only certainty. What was once uncertain has been measured, reviewed, and confirmed beyond doubt. The situation has crossed the point of no return, and the truth is ready to stand without interruption. This is the phase where silence turns into resolution. Amen. 3131. My beloved child, you are no longer waiting for justice, justice is approaching you. Feel the shift in how you breathe, how your thoughts settle. Something huge is waiting for you, and it comes as validation that you were protected even when it didn't feel like it. You didn't miss anything, you were preserved for this exact outcome. Let that understanding sink deep. Amen. 3232. Remain grounded as this concludes, because when the final confirmation reaches you, it will be quiet yet absolute. No drama, no excess, just truth in its purest form. The weight you carried will dissolve, and what replaces it is a sense of completion. This chapter is ending cleanly, and you are stepping forward whole. Amen. 3333. A calm certainty is settling in now, the kind that arrives only when nothing can undo what's already been decided. The process has finished forming behind closed doors, and the result is sealed. What once depended on timing now depends on truth alone. The situation has moved beyond influence, beyond persuasion, only facts remain standing. This is the moment just before reality announces itself. Amen. 3434. My beloved child, this is where your endurance transforms into peace. You are not bracing anymore, you are ready. Something huge is waiting for you, and it carries finality without fear. You will recognize it instantly, not because of noise, but because of how light you suddenly feel. The chapter you survived is no longer attached to you, it is closing on its own. Let go without hesitation. Amen. 3535. Stand still in this completion, because when confirmation arrives, it will not ask for reaction. It will simply be. The past will lose its grip, unanswered questions will dissolve, and your focus will return fully to what lies ahead. This ending is precise, clean, and deserved. Walk forward knowing nothing followed you from behind. Amen. 3636. The conclusion is unfolding quietly now, not with chaos, but with authority. What was prepared in silence is stepping forward exactly as intended. There is no confusion left in this situation, no loose ends searching for explanation. The outcome is firm, and it carries the weight of truth rather than emotion. This is the moment where reality speaks once, and never needs to repeat itself. Amen. 3737. My beloved child, something inside you already knows this is finished. The tension that once followed you has loosened its grip, and clarity has replaced anticipation. Something huge is waiting for you, and it arrives as freedom, freedom from suspicion, from defense, from carrying a story that was never yours to hold. What was taken no longer defines the present has reclaimed its power. Amen. 3838. Receive this ending with stillness, because it marks the turning point. After this, you move forward without explanation, without hesitation, without weight. The chapter closes cleanly, leaving no echo behind it. What begins next is not shaped by loss, but by truth restored and strength confirmed. This was never about them, it was always about your release. Amen. 3939. A new stillness has taken over now, and it is different from before. This is not waiting, it is completion. What once demanded attention has resolved itself fully, and the outcome stands without needing repetition. The situation that followed you for so long has reached its natural end, and there is nothing left to chase, prove, or defend. This is the silence that comes after truth has done its work. Amen. 4040. My beloved child, feel how your energy has shifted from alert to open. Something huge is waiting for you, and it is not tied to the past anymore. The weight has lifted because it no longer belongs to you. What unfolds next will feel like space, room to think clearly, to move freely, to choose without fear. This is what restoration feels like when it arrives without noise. Amen. 4141. Step forward without hesitation now, because the chapter behind you is sealed completely. Nothing reaches back, nothing lingers unfinished. You carry only clarity, not consequence. What begins from here is guided by confidence earned through endurance. Walk on, this ending has prepared you for a stronger beginning. Amen. 4242. A forward motion has begun now, gentle but unstoppable. This is not urgency, it is direction. What once held your attention has released you fully, and the path ahead is no longer shaped by caution. The energy surrounding you is clean, uncluttered, and intentional. This is the phase where life resumes without resistance, where progress no longer requires explanation. Amen. 4343. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and it is expansion. Not loud, not rushed, stable and real. The space created by this ending is being filled with opportunities that align naturally with who you have become. You are not replacing what was lost, you are receiving what was delayed. Let yourself trust the flow without questioning it. Amen. 4444. Move ahead with certainty now, because nothing from the past has permission to interrupt your next chapter. The clarity you carry will guide every step forward. This ending was necessary, precise, and complete, and it has done its job. What unfolds from here will feel lighter, stronger, and undeniably yours. Amen. 4545. A sense of arrival is settling in now, not dramatic, not rushed, just real. This is the moment when you realize you are no longer reacting to life, you are directing it. The cycle that once demanded your attention has completed itself, and what remains is momentum shaped by clarity. There is no unfinished business pulling at you anymore. This is forward motion with purpose. Amen. 4646. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and it is stability earned through endurance. You are stepping into a phase where decisions feel aligned instead of forced. What once drained you has no influence here. You are moving with awareness, not caution, and that shift changes everything. Trust how grounded this feels, it is not temporary. Amen. 4747. Continue without looking back now, because the chapter behind you has no voice in what comes next. You carry insight, not weight. The path ahead is not uncertain, it is open. This conclusion has prepared you well, and what follows will confirm that nothing you endured was wasted. Walk forward fully present, this is your progression. Amen. 4848. A quiet confidence is rising within you now, and it cannot be shaken. This is not the confidence that proves itself, it is the confidence that knows. The past no longer questions you, and the future no longer intimidates you. Everything that once demanded explanation has fallen silent, and in that silence, direction becomes clear. This is inner authority taking its place. Amen. 4949. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and it is ownership of your next chapter. Not control, not pressure, ownership. You are choosing from clarity, not reacting from memory. What once defined you has released you completely, making room for decisions that reflect who you are now, not who you were then. This is growth that does not announce itself, it simply happens. Amen. 5050. Stand fully in this awareness, because nothing behind you has permission to follow. The momentum you feel is real, earned, and sustainable. You are no longer carrying lessons, you have integrated them. This chapter did not break you, it refined you. Move forward knowing this transition is complete and your direction is secure. Amen. 5151. A final clarity is settling into place now, deep and unmistakable. This is not excitement, not anticipation, it is certainty. The path ahead no longer needs signs because you recognize it instantly. What once felt unpredictable has aligned into something steady and reliable. The noise has faded, the lessons have integrated, and the situation that tested you has fully released its grip. This is completion at the deepest level. Amen. 5252. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and it is self-trust. Not borrowed confidence, not reassurance from others, your own knowing. You are no longer seeking permission to move forward. The strength you carry now was shaped in silence, refined in patience, and confirmed by truth. What comes next will feel natural because it matches who you have become. Receive it without hesitation. Amen. 5353. Step into this final readiness, because there is nothing left to resolve behind you. The chapter has closed cleanly, without residue or regret. You are moving forward with alignment, awareness, and calm authority. This ending has done its work completely. Walk on, your direction is clear, and your ground is firm. Amen. 5454. A profound calm marks this moment now, the kind that only appears when everything has settled exactly where it belongs. There is nothing left unresolved, nothing hidden, nothing waiting to surface. The journey that tested your patience has completed its purpose, and the weight it carried has dissolved completely. This is not an ending filled with noise, it is an ending filled with certainty. Amen. 5555. My beloved child, something huge is waiting for you, and it is alignment with your true pace. You are no longer moving to recover or repair, you are moving to create. The clarity you hold now protects every step ahead. What once tried to define you has no influence here. You stand grounded, aware, and free to choose without hesitation or fear. Amen. 5656. Receive this final closure fully, because it seals the transformation you have undergone. There is no echo from the past, no pull backward, no question unanswered. You carry wisdom without burden and strength without strain. This chapter has ended exactly as it should, and what follows belongs entirely to you. Walk forward, this path recognizes you. Amen. 5757.